Right, buckle up Alex and Cameron and everyone else. We're back. It's bank holiday week. Absolutely rammed here in Bowness. We've got 4 days of rain forecast. And we're off to Ilkley, which is 80 miles away from the lakes, down the Dales Way. So we're out on the Dales Way. We've left the crowds completely behind now. We're about an hour in, heading towards Staveley and Burneside, and then on towards Sedbergh. I set off at 1:30. I want to try and do roughly 20 miles each day. 20 miles, probably pushing it tonight. It gets dark about 10, but I'm probably going to be pitched up before then. I've got a new rucksack to try out. This is the Zpacks Nero DCF, the old version. Got a base weight of 5.5 kilos, and I've got a couple of kilos of food and drink. I've got most of what I need for the 4 days. See how we get on. We're 9 miles in. The rivers have been fantastic since Staveley. We've been following the side of the river all the way. It's just a beautiful evening. Still got quite a way to go today. I want to try and get to about 15 miles. There's possibly a little campsite at a place called Grey Rig Foot, which was listed on the Dales Way website. So I'm going to aim for that. See how it goes. So this is Sprint Mill, and this is a little gem for Dales Way walkers. It's 10 miles from the end, and therefore 10 miles from the start if you're going this way. Amazing little location, and they allow camping there. Lovely lady who owns it, and you saw from the sign DIY refreshments. There's just a little room upstairs in the barn, nice place to shelf surf if it's raining. Just with tea and coffee facilities and flapjacks as well apparently. But I have not stopped because I want to try and get onto campsite at about the 15 mile mark, so that's another 5 miles to go, and still plenty of time, but I've put in a reasonable shift so far today for the first day walking, and yeah, I'm getting ready to sort of feel like settling down and getting the tent out. So another 5 miles, a couple of hours, and hopefully we pitched up by about 7:30, something like that. So coming down over Black Moss Tarn now, and the How Girls appearing in the distance, and the weather is so much better than forecast, and I'm kicking myself for not packing my sun hoodie and my shorts. Having said that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be nice for the rest of the 3 days, but I'm definitely enjoying this lovely evening sunshine as we approach 7 o'clock with a couple of miles to go, something like that. trumps. I'm sat at Grey Rig Foot with a beer in a lovely flat big garden by the side of the river. And this is a campsite that's not a campsite. It's listed on the Dales Way website as somewhere that you can camp. There's no signs up or anything. So I knocked on the door and charged me 10 quid for the night, 2 quid for a beer. And I've got a lovely spot. And the evening continues to be really lovely. So yeah. There's a few midges around now. So I'm going to get into bed pretty soon, get a really early night. 14 miles today, well, just over actually, I think it's more like 15. But it does mean that tomorrow, really I need to be doing 25. That could be a bit of a challenge. We shall see. Cheers. Right, all set up inside. A couple of new bits of kit for this trip. First of all was the rucksack, the Zpacks Nero DCF. No frame, no hip belt, 48 litres, working really well. Very happy with that. The other things are the sleeping mat, which is the Big Agnes Rapide SL insulated. It is reasonably heavy. It's about the same weight as my Thermarest X Therm. Same sort of size. Not as warm, but certainly warm enough for camping in May. I bought it because all the reviews said it was the most comfy pad people had ever slept on. I've tried it out once, and it seemed fine. So we shall see. Also got new sleeping bag, Nordisk Oscar Curve, -2 insulated. I'm still sort of switching between quilt and sleeping bag. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to go for. So yeah, this is the one I brought out on this trip. It's going to get down to, I think 8 is the lowest it's forecast to. So I'm learning my lesson with sleeping bag ratings. 2 years ago on the Dales Highway I had a 5-degree rated bag and the Thermarest Uber Light, and it was just freezing, it was uncomfortable. So I'm going overkill and hoping that that will be nice and comfy. And then I've got the Rapide SL super light pillow as well, which I'm going to use my rucksack as a sort of booster to that, just to give myself a bit of height. So there you go, that's it, that's the new gear. The tent is still the Trekkertent Stealth 1.5 Camo DCF. I do really like it, but again I'm sort of not sure between this and the X Mid. Still got both. I'm going to keep one of them, still not quite sure which one. Anyway, it is getting on for 9 o'clock now and I'm going to get some sleep. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 2. It is 5:30. Slept really well. Lots of rain showers coming through the night. Pretty noisy on the DCF. But yeah, slept well. Sleeping mat really comfy. Weather should have cleared up this afternoon, but that means it's going to be colder tonight. But I should be absolutely fine. Bag was super toasty last night. Right, I'm gonna get on with packing up and see you in a bit. About 48 years ago, my mum made a cassette recording trying to get me to say difficult words, and one of them was rhododendron, and I can still hear 2-year-old me saying rhododendron. I always think of that when I see rhododendrons, which isn't that often. But this is a lovely bit of the walk through this rhododendron tunnel. Well, another half-term trip to the Dales, another sheep rescued. This one here had its head stuck through that little square and it couldn't pull it back because its horns were in the way, and every time it pulled back it was sort of pulling its horn, and it rubbed all the skin off and it was bleeding. And of course, since I tried to help it, it started jumping even more and then got its foot stuck. And eventually it calmed down and managed to just push its head down and get the wire over its horn, and off it trotted. So I cleaned the sheep blood off my hand, which isn't something I was expecting to do on a bank holiday Monday morning. On my way again. Hope to find a coffee at some point today. I feel like I need one. Right, we are exactly 2 hours into the walk now. It's 8:45 and we've reached Crook of Loon Bridge. The rain has eased off slightly. It's been absolutely belting it down for the last sort of half an hour or so. And we're now going to be walking down the River Loon for the next probably hour or so, down into Sedbergh. And if the river walks yesterday were anything to go by, then I'm looking forward to this. It certainly looks like a really picturesque part of the Dales Way. Right, it's 1 o'clock and I've set off to Dent now from Sedbergh. Decided to detour into Sedbergh to get some refreshment. Managed to find an all-day breakfast and a coffee for a tenner at the George pub. And the weather is still pretty changeable. Huge downpours, and it clears up a little bit. So Dent is the 30-mile mark of the walk, and ideally I want to do another 10 miles after Dent, so that puts me about halfway for today. So after this morning reminiscing about being taught how to say rhododendron, it did suddenly occur to me after that I wasn't entirely sure they were rhododendrons. A botanist I am not. So, are these rhododendrons or are they something else? Like an azalea perhaps? Whatever they are, they're lovely. Path, river, path. Sometimes you're both. Right, 2:15, coming to Dent, hoping that the pub will be open in the witching hour between lunch and tea. Let's have a look. We might be in luck. Fantastic. Oh, it was a good 30-40 minute stop. And the sun's come out and the forecast is for it to be like this for the rest of the day. Right then, time to prepare tonight's tea. should be ready in about 3 hours. We've got about 6 hours of daylight left and a lovely sunny afternoon. Right, it's 5:45. My feet are tired. Ready for another break. So I think we're coming up to the Sportsman's Inn. So I'm intending to have about half an hour there. And there's going to be another 5-ish miles left after that, depending on where we find a wild camping spot. The evening continues to be glorious though. Bent Viaduct is looking absolutely spectacular in the evening sunshine. A picture postcard. So this is Dent Viaduct. That last one was Art and Gill Viaduct. Still looking resplendent in the evening sunshine. So 7 o'clock. About half an hour in the Sportsman. There's the only one in there. It's really quiet, as in actually really quiet. Just the barman who we were listening to. Little sort of portable radio on a table in one corner. So I thought I needed to step up and get out quickly. Anyway, about half an hour in the Sportsman. I've done 21.5 miles so far. 3.5 to go to get to the halfway point. So at some point in the next mile or so we're going to be coming off this road, and really from then onwards it's just spotting a decent wild camp spot. And if I don't find one, then there's one that I've seen a couple of other people use down near Ribblehead Viaduct. So that's the sort of the emergency one if I don't find one before. But once I've had enough, I'm ready to stop. I've still got some more in me, but it'll be nice when I can finally get my feet up, because they're just getting a little bit tingly and a bit sore. But I'm so grateful for this lovely early evening sunlight. Finally off the road. So we're heading over Gale Moor now, down towards Ribblehead Viaduct, although we won't actually go down to it, but we'll certainly go within sight of it. I'm also going to see if I can find a nice place to stop and get my tea in a bit as well, because it's about 7:15 and it's probably time that I have my pasta. So it's 10 to 9, and finding a wild camp spot tonight was really tough. I was sure there'd be something on the way over top of Gale Moor, but just absolutely nothing, and then it got really boggy again. But this is absolutely fine, and although it's fairly close to the road, it's actually really secluded. There's a little bit of a dip in front, so yeah, I'll be completely undisturbed. So looking forward to getting some tea, and it's going to be a cold one tonight. It's cold now. So that'll be tonight's job, just staying warm. See over there. But this spot isn't too horrendous, and I mean, I've had flatter places to lie at night. and it's on an angle from head down to foot, but I think it'll just about be okay. Don't think we're forecast any weather tonight other than the cold, so that's good. A lovely view over Ingleborough. Right, I'm going to get the inner in, get the bed sorted out and finish off my tea. So, slept really well last night actually, quite achy, but I was expecting that and I thought it was going to stop me sleeping, but it was fine. Mat was really comfy, ground uneven, but I didn't feel it at all. So I'm going to put a bit of strapping on my feet, because with my socks being wet, they started to get a bit blistery in places. Get the tent packed up and then get started for another 20 miles. I think it's 18 and a half, I think, to the first sort of wild camp spot in just outside Kettlewell. So today takes over the watershed. We have been walking down the Lune and we've been at Ribblehead, and the Lune and the Ribble both flow into the Mersey, but today we're going to be going over the top and picking up the Wharfe, which flows into the Humber. Okay, so this is where we leave the Pennine Way, this rather extravagant cairn, and we start our descent out of the cloud, well, into more cloud. So, Dales Way down to Outer Shore, and then the Wharfe Valley. Downhill all the way now, more or less. So this is Langstroth Dale, and according to an information board back there, Langstroth Dale translates from Anglian as long marshy dale, which it is. Now, well, the rain started again, but we got down to Nethergill and found this sign here, and they're open. So this confluence here, I believe, is the official beginning of the River Wharfe, which we shall be following now for the rest of the walk. It's been raining heavily for the last hour or so, and slight bit of respite under these trees. I'm heading down to Hubberholme, where there is a pub that I've been recommended to by two people who I've passed on the way. I've made it to Hubberholme. What time's it open? Oh no. No. Yep, very much closed. I would have made it in time for lunch as well. Tomorrow, I'm serving it from 12 till 2:30. It's very much not tomorrow though. So I've allowed myself a little cry. Just 10 seconds of disappointment. And then, new plan. Which is to keep walking, of course, down to Buxton. And there are a couple of pubs in Buxton. And fingers crossed one of them at least is open on a Tuesday, because if nothing else I could just do with being inside for a bit, just to dry off, because I am drenched. was a lovely pint and plate of food at the Buck Inn, and that definitely perked me up, but even an hour in there didn't dry me off really anywhere close. I am wet through. So my mood is not brilliant at the moment because my feet are in agony, and they have been hurting since, well, end of yesterday's walk really. Taped everything up this morning, but I think I've already said before that the problem is these waterproof socks that have got saturated inside, and so they're just holding the water in, and as a result my feet are really soft, and I'm getting sort of mixed with blisters, but also like heat spots and things as well on my toes and on my ankle. So each step is really like stepping on pins. It really stings. But then added to that is this incessant rain. It's been absolutely pouring it down since about 11 o'clock today. Last time I looked, the forecast for tomorrow was going to be basically the same as today. And really, yeah, just putting my wet socks on again and having to do another 20 miles, my feet stinging. Just wondering if it's worth it. The stubborn part of me is, yeah, push on, just do it. The other part of me is thinking, why put yourself through it if you're going to be miserable? So I'm going to have a little planning meeting with myself at a pub in Kettlewell, check the weather forecast again and make some decisions. The last mile has made up my mind. My feet have got immeasurably worse in the last half an hour or so. I'm now kind of hobbling because they're so painful. I've strapped everything up. It's not, well, there is a blister, but it's mainly just rubbing. It's like really, I don't know how to describe it, it's just really sore over the tops of my toes and the sides of my ankles. So yeah, each step is now really painful. So at the speed I'm going, I struggle to get through 20 miles tomorrow anyway, even if it didn't hurt. It has been really good fun, even though today's been hard. That doesn't take away at all from the rest of the trip, which has been fantastic, which hopefully has come across in this video. I don't want this video to sort of end as a negative whinge. And I don't want this trip to end with me feeling all negative and gloomy, because I'm not. Just got hurty feet, that's it. No problem. Bus home, sorted. Meantime, we've got the River Wharf still accompanying us, a bit more sedate now, and these lovely wildflower meadows, which have been a constant feature pretty much from the start of the walk. Just the right time of the year to be coming through with just meadow after meadow after meadow for, yeah, almost continuously, and it's just been such a lovely backdrop to the walk. So as we come down into Kettlewell in something almost approaching sunshine, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me and RG, Roman Nomin, the gnome that roams, on this walk. It's been a while since the last one. Hopefully it won't be so long till the next one, but whenever that is, I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.